Hi, everybody. This is Jimmy, and you're reading with Jimmy. We're reading the King James Version of Genesis. Hope you're enjoying it. This is chapters 25 through 27. Ready? 25. And then again, Abraham took a wife, and her name was Keturah, and she bore him Zimran, and Joshkin, and Midian, Ishka, and Sham, very productive. And Joshkin begat Sheba and Dedan, and the sons of Dedan were Ashram, Leshram, Liman, pardon my pronunciations, and the sons of Midian, Ephah, and Epher, and Hanok, and Adah, and Eldah. And all of these were the children of Keturah. So Abraham gave all that he had unto Isaac. But unto the sons of the concubines which Abraham had, Abraham gave gifts and sent them away from Isaac, his son. And while he lived, yet he lived eastward unto the east country. And these are the days of the years of Abraham's life, which he lived, 160 years. And then Abraham gave up the ghost, and he died in a good old age, an old man, and full of years, and he was gathered to his people. And then his sons, Isaac and Ishmael, buried him in the cave of Meklah, in the field of Ephron, the son of Zomar the Hittite, which is before Mamre. This was the field which Abraham had purchased from the sons of Heth, and there was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it came to pass that after the death of Abraham, God blessed his son Isaac, and Isaac dwelt by the well Lahairoi. Now these are the generations of Ishmael, Abraham's son, whom Hagar, the Egyptian, Sarah's handmaid, bore unto Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael, and by their names according to their generations. The firstborn of Ishmael, Nebathah, and Kedar, and Abel, and Mizmah. And again, forgive my pronunciations. And Mizmah, and Dum, and Massa, Hadar, Tamar, Jatur, Nabish, Kedah, and these are the sons of Ishmael. And they are their names by their towns and by their castles, 12 princes according to their nations. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137. And he gave up his ghost and died, and was gathered unto his people, and they dwelt from Havilah unto Shur, that is before Egypt, as thou goest towards Assyria, and then died in the presence of all his brethren. Now these are the generations of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took Rebekah to wife, the daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, of Padaman, and the sister to Laban, the Syrian. And so Isaac entreated the Lord for his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord was entreated of him, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children struggled together within her. And she said, If it be so, why am I thus? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said unto her, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels. And the one people shall be stronger than the other people, and the elder shall serve the younger. And when the days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb. And the first came out red, all over like a hairy garment. And they called his name Esau. And after that came his brother with his hand took hold of Esau's heel, and his name was called Jacob. And Isaac was 80 old when she bore them. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents. Isaac loved Esau, because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob sowed pottage, and Esau came from the field, and he was faint. So Jacob made some pottage. And Esau said to Jacob, "Feed me, I pray thee, with some of that red pottage, for I am faint." And therefore his name is called Edom. Jacob said, "Sell me this day thy birthright." Esau said, "Behold, I am at the point to die. And what profit shall this birthright do for me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me this day." And Esau swore to him, and he sold his birthright to Jacob. And then Jacob gave Esau bread and pottage of lentils, and he did eat and drink and rose up and went his way. And thus Esau despised his birthright. And there was a famine in the land, besides the first famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went unto Abelmac, king of the Philistines, unto Gerar. And the Lord appeared to him and said, "Go not down into Egypt. Dwell in the land which I shall tell thee. Sojourn in this land, and I will be with thee, and I will bless thee. For unto thee and unto thy seed I will give all these countries, and I will perform the oath on which I swore unto your Abraham your father. And I will make thy seed to multiply as the stars in heaven, and will give unto thy seed all these countries. And in thy seed shall all the nations of the earth be blessed, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and kept his charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my laws." So Isaac dwelt near Gerar. And the men of the place asked him of his wife, and he said, "She is my sister." For he feared to say, "She is my wife," lest the men of the place should kill him for Rebekah, because she was fair to look upon. And so it came to pass that when he had been there a long time, Abelmac, the king of the Philistines, looked out the window, and he saw, and behold, Isaac was sporting with Rebekah, his wife. I wrote a note here. Do you remember when this happened before? Abelmac called Isaac and said, "Behold, of a surety, this is your wife. Now, how did you say that she's your sister?" Isaac said unto him, "Well, because I said, lest I die for her." And Abelmac said, "What is it thou hast done unto us? One of the people might have lightly have leaned with thy wife, and thou shouldst have brought guiltiness upon us." And Abelmac charged all of his people, saying, "He that toucheth this man or his wife shall surely be put to death." And then Isaac sowed in that land and received in the same year 100-fold. And the Lord blessed him. And the man waxed great, and he went forward and grew until he became very great. For he had possession of flocks, possession of herds, and a great store of servants, and the Philistines envied him. For all the wells which his father's servants had digged in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines had stopped them and filled them with earth. Abelmac said unto Isaac, "Go from us, for thou art much mightier than we." So Isaac departed thence and pitched his tent in the valley of Gerar, and he dwelt there. And Isaac digged again the wells of water which they had digged in the days of Abraham his father. For the Philistines had stopped them after the death of Abraham, and he called their names after the names which his father had called them. And Isaac's servants digged in the valley, and they found there a well of springing water. And the herdsmen of Ger did strive with Isaac's herdsmen, saying, the water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, because they strove with him. And they dug another well, and they strove for that also. And he called the name of that well Sitnah. And he removed from thence and digged another well. And for that they strove not. And he called the name of it Reboth. For he said, for now the Lord hath made room for us, and we shall be fruitful in the land. And he went up from thence to Beersheba. And the Lord appeared unto him that same night. And he said, I am the God of Abraham thy father. So fear not, for I am with thee, and I will bless thee, and I will multiply thy seed for my servant Abraham's sake. And he built an altar there and called upon the name of the Lord and pitched his tent there. And there Isaac's servants dug a well. And then Abimelech went to him from Ger, and Abnab and his friends, and Pichol the chief captain. So Isaac said to them, wherefore come ye to me, seeing that you hate me, and have sent me away from you? And they said, well, we saw certainly that the Lord was with thee. And we said, let there be now an oath betwixt us and thee, and let us make a covenant with thee, that thou wilt do us no hurt, as we have not touched thee, as we have done so unto thee nothing but good, and have sent thee away in peace, thou now the blessed of the Lord. And he made them a feast, and they drank and ate, and they rose up betimes in the morning, and they swore to one another. And Isaac sent them away, and they departed from him in peace. And it came to pass the same day that Isaac's servants came and told him concerning the well which they had dug, and said unto him, we have found water. And so he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the city is Beersheba unto this day. Now Esau was 40 years old when he took the wife Judith, the daughter of Beri the Hittite, and Basmath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, which were a grief of mine unto Isaac and Rebekah. Right? And it came to pass that when Isaac was old, and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau, his eldest son, and said unto him, my son? And he said unto him, behold, here I am. And he said, behold now that I am old. I know not the day of my death. So now therefore take, I pray thee, thy weapons, thy quiver, thy bow, go into the field, and take me some venison, and make me the savory meat, which I love, and bring it to me, that I may eat, and my soul may bless thee before I die. Rebekah heard when Isaac spoke this to Esau his son. So Esau went into the field to hunt for venison and to bring it. Rebekah spoke to Jacob, her son, saying, behold, I heard thy father speak to Esau thy brother, saying, bring me venison, make me savory meat, that I may eat, bless thee before the Lord before my death. So therefore, my son, obey my voice according to that which I command thee. Go now to the flock, and fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for thy father, such that he loves. And thou shalt bring it to him, to thy father, so that he may eat, and that he may bless thee before his death. Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau my brother is a hairy man. I am a smooth man. My father peradventure will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver, and I shall bring a curse upon me, not a blessing. And his mother said unto him, Upon me be thy curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch them. And so he went and fetched and brought them to his mother, and his mother made a savory meat, such as the father loved. And Rebekah took goodly remnant of her eldest son Esau clothing, which were with her in the house, and she put them on Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of the neck. And she gave the savory meat and bread which she had prepared into the hands of her son Jacob. And Jacob came unto his father and said, My father. And he said, Here I am. Who art thou, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, thy firstborn. I have done according to thou badest me. Arise, I pray thee, sit and eat of my venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, How is it that thou hast found it so quickly, my son? And he said, Because the Lord thy God brought it to me. Isaac said unto Jacob, Come near, I pray thee, that I may feel thee, my son, whether thou be my very son Esau or not. So Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and then said, The voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy as his brother Esau's hands, and so he blessed him. And then he said, Art thou my son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, Bring it near me, that I may eat of my son's venison, and that my soul may bless thee. And he brought it near him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, Come near now, kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him, and he smelled the smell of his clothing, raiment, and blessed him, and said, See, the smell of my son is the smell of the field which the Lord hath blessed. Therefore, God, give thee of the dew of heaven, and the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine, and let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, thy sons' mother's sons, bow down to thee. Cursed every one that cursed thee, and blessed be that blessed thee. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made the end of the blessing Jacob, and Jacob had yet scarce gone out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting. And he also had made savory meat, and he brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, Let my father arise and eat his son's venison, that thy soul may bless me. And Isaac his father said unto him, Who art thou? And he said, I am thy son, thy firstborn Esau. Isaac trembled very exceedingly, and said, Who? Where is it that thou hast taken the venison and brought it to me? And I have eaten of all before thou camest, and thou blessed him? Yea, he shall be blessed. And when Esau heard those words of his father, he cried with a great and exceeding bitter cry, and said unto his father, Bless me also, my father. And he said, Thy brother came with subtlety, and hath taken away thy blessing. And he said, Is not he rightly named Jacob? For he had supplanted me with these 2 times. He took away my birthright, and behold, now he hath taken away my blessing. And he said, Hast thou not received the blessing for me? Isaac answered and said unto Esau, Behold, I have made him thy lord, and all his brethren have I given to him for servants, and with corn and wine have I sustained him, And what shall I do now unto thee, my son? Esau said unto his father, Hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me also, my father. Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth, and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword thou shalt live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break the yoke off of thy neck. So Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherein his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning of my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And so she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, Behold, thy brother Esau is touching thee, doth comfort himself, proposing to kill thee. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice, and arise and flee to Laban my brother, to Haran, and tarry with him a few days, until thy brother's fury turns away, and until thy brother's anger turns away from thee, and he forgets that which thou hast done to him. And then I will send and fetch thee from thence. Why should I be deprived also of you both in one day? So Rebekah said to Isaac, I am weary of my life, because the daughters of Heth, and if Jacob takes a wife of the daughters of Heth, such as these of the daughters of the land, what good shall my life do me? Chapters 25 to 27 you've been reading with Jimmy. This is Jimmy. Learn more about the Bible, which we're reading as mythology. Remember, our intention is not to harm your beliefs, but to help them make strong. Didn't you enjoy those chapters? When we analyze this, it's going to be an amazing event. So make sure you read the analysis, but also be sure to read other classics. I say it's going to be amazing an event because there's a lot of deception going on here. We're going to have to figure that out, right? Figure that out. Learn more about the Bible, like I said. We're going to be reading more chapters. There's 50 chapters. We're halfway there, ladies and gentlemen. Stick with me. Jimmy at readingwithjimmy.com. Jimmy at readingwithjimmy.com is my email. And remember, have a great day. Keep reading. And remember, you only go around once, so surround yourself with the best. Surround yourself with the classics. Thanks for coming by.